Welcome everybody to the Betway Summer Cup panel discussion. It is going to be a beautiful weekend and trust everybody will be making their way to Turfentine Racecourse for Africa's richest horse race. Let me introduce you. You already know who he is, to the head of Betway Africa, Jonathan Blumberg. Welcome. It's lovely to have you here, Jonathan. And thank you so much again for always being a special friend of ours in racing.
Thanks, Clyde. Lovely to be here and really looking forward to the third edition of the Betway Summer Cup.
Tarry, one of South African champion trainers, is here as well. He knows what it takes to win a Summer Cup. Sean, exciting prospects this year.
Great to be here, Clyde. I mean, we're looking forward to the Summer Cup. It's going to be the biggest and best. So, looking forward.
And of course, one of South Africa's champion jockeys, Piere striker Strydom. Closer, slowly but surely getting to 60, but my goodness gracious me, is he riding them to sleep. It's just been unbelievable. You must be thoroughly enjoying what you're doing, Strikes.
Not all the time, Clyde, but only when they win.
Yeah.
But happy to be here, happy to take part in the Summer Cup again for another year. Just hoping to have a good day.
Okay, it's hopefully will be a good day for everybody here. I'll start with Jonathan Blumberg. Let's talk. I want to pair them up. Let's pair up See It Again and last year's winner, of course, Royal Victory. Let's talk about them. Royal Victory, he winner of last year. See It Again is in just another league at the moment after he'd been gelded. I was very impressed with his comeback victory, Jonathan. Let's talk about it. You go through it and give us your view.
Thanks, Clyde. So I think, look, we have to respect See It Again. Absolute top horse, highest rated horse in the field. Got Piere on again. Won some great races. I think in the case of Royal Victory and See It Again, I was really impressed with Royal Victory's warm-up run in Durban a couple of weeks ago. Very well weighted against See It Again. I don't think much different in terms of the draw compared to last year, whether it was drawn 15 or 15 this year or 13 last year. I think Gavin will suit this horse, and I'd have no doubt from my point of view that I think Royal Victory will run in front of See It Again. Yeah,
well, it's interesting because Betway's got 3-1 about See It Again, 8-1 about Royal Victory, Sean. The two do seem to be, from an ability perspective, almost equal.
See It Again's had to give weight at times, but I think his last run, we don't know how ready he was. So everybody's drawing a conclusion that, Royal Victory was smutsing behind him and ran on when the race was over. But we don't know how ready that horse was. We don't know who's going to come on more. On face value, Royal Victory has to beat him if they were at equal level of fitness. But who's to say that Mace didn't have a little bit more in the tank?
Yeah. Well, Striker will know that. You'll be able to tell us, because you've been engaging, I'm sure, with the stable. You know the horse so very well. You've partnered with him. He's done you so many favours. You've done him so many favours. The partnership is absolutely reefing. Where are you with him? And let's talk about Royal Victory. Chat to both.
Well, I'm so glad See It Again came along because I wouldn't be riding if he didn't come along. I picked up a ride in the Derby and he won at 50-1, so he's just been a good horse to me, riding in the July. But I agree with the panel. The last run of Royal Victory was actually, in my opinion, more impressive than See It Again. There was nothing wrong. See It Again could only win, so it was a good win. But Royal Victory is now going to be 4.5 kilograms better off. Okay, we've got a very nice draw of 6 in the Summer Cup, where Royal Victory, will he get lucky from that draw? It's not a good draw. I know he won from that draw or thereabouts. You need a bit of luck to get a good position. So, for that reason, as I See It Again, obviously, I think he's going to hopefully run to the best of his ability, hopefully get a good position. Unfortunately, he's only had one run, and you would want a horse to be super fit for the Summer Cup, tough Turfentine 2,000-metre race. Where Royal Victory has proven that he's come up here with a similar prep runs, and he's won 2 big races at Turfentine. To me, the betting is completely wrong. The two horses should be together in the betting. The one can't be 2-1 and the other one 7-1. And for that reason, Winchester mentioned who beat us in the July. He's 12-1. It's crazy. The form line's there, and yet See It Again at such a short price. I don't get it, but I know I'm running a good horse. We've got a good draw, and hopefully he's well on the day. And if he doesn't win, he should be right there in the finish.
Yeah, listen, you've lived with it your whole life. Strikers lived with betting, that kind of pretense betting his whole life because it's Piere Strydom. So obviously, horses can be shorter. But having said that, Strikes, just very quickly, I think you've said it too, that Turfentine racecourse, that long straight, he's going to love it.
I think he's going to love it. When he won the Derby over 2000 at Kenilworth, I think it's very similar to Turfentine. You've got time to find the position. Okay, we've got 20 runners here in this race, which to me is too many because you find interference and you need luck in running. But the running itself, the long straight, see it again, can build up and get there when you want to. Where Gravel, I know he's done well at Gravel, but you always need a little bit of luck in running. You want to get a good position and be able to make up the ground in that short straight where Turfentine should be right up his alley.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting indeed. Main Defender and Purple Pitcher, I want to pair them up and just talk to Jonathan about that. Main Defender ran his heart out last time out. And I think Purple Pitcher's had the great prep. You look at his weights and what he's coming into the race with. He's at 20-1. I think one needs to consider taking some of that 20-1. Personally, what's your view?
Look, I would be firmly in the camp of Purple Pitcher here. I think there's some nice weight turnovers with Main Defender. I'm not unsure where the Main Defender would stay. I think there's a good possibility it will stay. I think we had this conversation last year about Royal Victory and Path Fork being the stallion, whether Royal Victory would stay or not. I was actually quite impressed with Main Defender's last run. I just think my own opinion is I think Gavin had a lot of horse under him and potentially he moved a little too soon. But I thought that was a good run. I just think Purple Pitcher's had an unbelievable prep. I mean, you go and have a look at this horse's Turfentine form, winning group races, over 1800 and 2450. I would be in the camp of Purple Pitcher over Main Defender.
Yeah, and I watched him last time. He looked so good moving to the gate. Where are you, Sean, with the two of them? Give us your view on these very good horses.
I think that they're very close once again. They're very close. There's not a lot between them. I do like a quieter prep run, which Purple Pitcher had. Improved on the first run. Just in the picture, the weight is enough to turn it around, but I think as well, there doesn't seem to be a lot of pace. Now, this is a horse that can go to the front and love it. And I can't see anything taking him on if he does go to the front. And he'll have everything his own way.
Yeah.
And perhaps that'll suit him.
Do you see Purple Pitcher going to the lead, and where do you put Main Defender in the race, Piere?
Well, I rode against Purple Pitcher over a mile here, and I was quite surprised how much pace he showed at the gates. So this 2,000 meters, I mean, he's run well over longer distance. So I think this race is made for him, and he's a young horse, so there's more scope for improvement. Ideal horse for this race. You got pace, get out of trouble, and you're probably going to be there at least in the first 4 or 5. Main Defender, I was very impressed with him the day he beat me on Dave the King, because it was a mile and it was a heavy track that day. Yet he went past me at 150 meter mark, 200 meter mark, like I was standing still. So I always thought that he could see out the distance just on that run alone. Maybe with a more slightly patient ride, because he can quicken up really well. He might see out the distance. But these are both two younger horses that have got more scope for improvement than us older horses.
And then you have the utmost respect for. Okay, Jonathan, just with regards to Winchester Mansion, and we chatted to James at that great draw you put on the draw function, and he was saying that this is probably his last run, Winchester Mansion. But what a terrific turn of foot he showed in his comeback run last time out, the way he turned it on. And I want to just couple him, if I can, with a horse like Barbaresco, who, Striker, you rode him. I'll talk to you about him in a minute, who won so impressively. And yes, there's a question mark around stamina, but I know he's got the ability, this horse.
So I think it's quite simple. I think Winchester Mansion will stay. I think the last win was pretty impressive. Moved up full of running. One going away with quite a big weight. For me, I'm not so sure if Barbaresco stays. I know, Raymond's going to have to ride this horse extremely, extremely quietly to ensure that it can get the 2,000. But I'd probably have to favour Winchester Mansion over Barbaresco over this Turfentine 2,000 metres.
Sean, as the pair, where do you put them in the race?
I think Winchester Mansion is an interesting horse because you can now debate See It Again and obviously Royal Victory. we're talking about the weights and Piere getting beat in the July by this horse, but this horse was a 4-year-old and Strydom was a 3-year-old, and Strydom gave him chunks of weight.
Yeah.
And then at the same token, the Summer Cup, he runs an absolute cracker, giving Royal Victory weight. I think it's going to be tough because this horse's second run, drawn 13, and he may be a little bit too pacey. He may travel too hard if there is no pace, and I keep coming back to that because I don't see the pace.
Yeah, you see what?
But yeah, I think it's not going to be easy, and it's not going to be easy for Barbaresco to switch off from that draw.
Could they be likely, thanks Shawnee, Piere, could they be likely winners at all? I mean, what lively chance do you give Winchester Mansion and Barbaresco?
Well, if you give Strydom a chance, you've got to give Winchester Mansion a chance. He won well last time. He's a bit of a difficult customer. He'll take the bit on the one side, and then when you want to try and hold him, then he'll just grab the bit on the other side and run away, you know, from left to the right and from right to the left. So he's a bit of a difficult customer. But the form is there, and that's why I'm quite surprised in the betting. Barbaresco, I'm also tending to think maybe better 1600 for the simple reason he's very strong. The jockey's going to have to ride him cold because he can pull hard in the race, and the 1600 to go faster, so he can settle easier. Over this distance, he's going to have to not jump him at the stalls, and he might just find himself too far back to actually be able to get to top horses and win the Summer Cup.
Okay. All right, because Striker has obviously partnered with Barbaresco, so make a note of those words. The pace has been a worry, so we'll get to that in a minute. Jonathan, I want to pair Puerto Manzano and Pure Predator, both in the Lawrence Werner's colours, obviously. Where do you leave them? Where do you put them in the race? Puerto Manzano, he knows how to win a Summer Cup. At the end of the day, he's a professional. Pure Predator, is he a dark horse? Can he run a drum for the quartets? Because remember, there's a carryover in this quartet, so you're looking for a dark horse.
So I think I'm going to be straight to the point, and I have a lot of respect for Lawrence. He's a good friend of mine, but I think Puerto Manzano could be a little bit past, his best. And I think a horse like Pure Predator, to me, on what I see in the book, has been rushed into it, an 1160 straight into an 1800. I don't really give any of them chances.
Sean, your view? I see Puerto Manzano starting to come down in the ratings now. Maybe make him a little more competitive.
Well, I mean, that's the one thing you've got to take note of is, what is he, a dual group 1 winner? He's carrying 54.5. Okay, his form is not what it used to be, but a horse like this can pop up. I think Pure Predator's first run was eye-catching, but his second run has put me off, coupled with a draw. He's beaten Otto Ruby, and that's why I take notice of him, but that last run puts me off.
Strikes, a Pure Predator, would he have an outside place chance for quartets?
Well, for me, respect to the owners and the trainers, both, I believe, have got sinus issues, so not for me.
Not for you. All right. Well, I'm going to pair up Frances Ethel now and talk to her with Future Pearl. Let's pair them up and chat about it. I mean, obviously, Frances Ethel's Jonathan with Oisin Murphy. It's an exciting announcement that he's going to be here. And she's been in solid form. She's been on fire. She's well. Naturally, Future Pearl got to have a claim in a race like this. What's your take?
So I think Frances Ethel, interesting, moved through the ranks pretty quickly. Definitely got a chance. I think obviously distance, no issue. Third run after rest. Great jockey booking, adds a lot of colour to the day. Then you have a look at a horse like Future Pearl. There's absolutely no doubt that the 2000 Turfentine is going to be right up this horse's alley. Pulled a 4 draw. Richard Forion, I'm sure he could have had a choice of a few rides in this race, and he had committed to this horse. I think, Sean would know better, but at his third run off the rest, I'm sure whatever the problems were leading up to this, or what seems in the book, what we're reading, Sean would be able to fill us in. But this is definitely a dark horse. This horse will stay. This horse will be finishing. I have outside respect for this horse to be a horse that could sneak into the places.
Sean, we spoke about it at the draw with regards to Richard and the choice, and you said that Richard had been understanding under the circumstances with his commitments elsewhere. So fill us in around the riding commitments and obviously your thoughts on Frances Ethel as well.
Okay, so Frances Ethel's had a perfect preparation. There seemed to be interference the last time. Probably could have been a few lengths closer. Good draw, obviously top jockey. I think she's got a chance. I mean, I can't say I like her strong, but there's 4 or 5 of them that have good chances, and I think she's one of them. I mean, bear in mind, when we talk about Future Pearl, we're going to the bottom of the boards here. We're looking at 50 to 1 plus.
Sure.
So it's hard to talk about him in the same breath as the favourite, because we've got to be realistic. His first run over the mile, he can't do much better than that on the inside track at Turferdine. That was not a surprise for me. We knew we were going to have to just take our medicine. The surprise came in his last run, where I feel there's absolutely nothing wrong with the horse. He's doing really well. And he gave us a performance a bit below par. And I think Piere felt he may have been feeling something, and he put his hands down to make sure he didn't do any further damage. When the horse got back, I couldn't find much wrong. And he's in perfect condition as far as I'm concerned. If he ends up sitting 3rd, 4th, as I said, there's going to be no pace. And Richard starts to slide early on this horse. It could work out for him.
Yeah, it's just strikes. Let's talk about it. Francis Ethel and Future Pearl. Obviously, Future Pearl, his last start, you can give us a bit more info or detail on it. Where do you rate them? What's your review on it?
Yeah, I think Future Pearl is probably more effective over 2004 and further, but maybe because of a big field they're going to go faster, and you could be running on at them. I was very disappointed obviously last time as well. I don't know why he didn't run on for me. He had his ears flat back, but Sean comes well on the big day, so you've got to respect that. Francis Ethel, looks like she's an easy horse to ride. Nice draw, she can race handy. A lot in her favour. I just don't know if the form is quite strong enough to take on the big guns.
Yeah.
But place chance.
Because we're going to figure out this quartet, this carryover, and we need to get the guys to commit as to which way they go with quartet. Zeus and Beating Wings, we'll pair them up, John, and talk about. Unfortunately, Zeus got the widest draw for Rachel's been riding well. We've seen her a lot in the winners' enclosure lately. Beating Wings, well, she's been in solid form of late, naturally. She comes in at a 116. Anything under a 119 is under sufferance, as you would know, if you do the calculation of top weight. But how do you put them in the play, and do they go in your quartets?
Yeah, so look, Zeus drawn 20. That's a real tough one. We know the horse stays. The question again is this horse, a little bit past its best at this level? That's open to debate. You come to a horse like Beating Wings, 3rd run off the rest. Also, for me, an unbelievable prep. I mean, it's got 1 3/4 lengths to White Pearl over 1,400 meters last time. Was an unbelievable run. Drawn 5, going probably its optimum trip. This horse is alive, 100%. This horse is alive, and not much between all the fillies on the day, but this is a horse for back end of quartets.
Okay, so we'll put her in. The 12 must go into your quartets. Don't leave it out. Sean, have they got realistic chances, these horses, or they're filling spaces?
Well, Beating Wings for me is at a very good preparation. The thing that puts me off is that she was well beaten by Francis Ethel in the Oaks. So I'm saying, why, on what should she turn it around, even though she beat her in the prep run over the mile? I think this filly is probably very effective from 1,600 right up to 2,000, where Francis Ethel actually is going to get going at the 2,000 or at 1,800 to 2,400. So yeah, I would think that Francis Ethel has the beating of Beating Wings. Zeus, I think from a 20 draw, it's going to be hard.
Striker, your opinion on the two of them?
If Beating Wings is held by Francis Ethel, and I only give Francis Ethel a place chance, and I can't like Beating Wings. Zeus, I know he's a strong horse. He's always pulling. So from draw 20, he's going to have to be dropped in at the back, and in the 20 horse field, it's going to be difficult to make up the ground.